Now that we have discussed the working principle of Tor, we will discuss Tor hidden services. In addition to providing the normal working, Tor also provides a feature which is known as hidden services. This feature provides two-way anonymity. Tor hidden services enable the server to provide their services without revealing their IP addresses. In order to connect to this hidden service, the client will use a rendezvous point which allows the communication between the client and server without each of them knowing the IP address of the other one. Now, as the IP address of the server is not known, so uh, it these services also protect the server from distributed denials of services attack, which lead the server in not processing even the valid requests. Now coming to the working principle of Tor hidden services. Now this consider that Netflix wants to run hidden services on the Tor network. In order to do so, it will calculate a key pair. This key pair will be calculated through asymmetric encryption, and for if you don't know asymmetric encryption, it is the type of encryption where two keys are generated. One is a public key and the other one is a private key. A message that is encrypted using public key can only be decrypted using a private key, and only the server will have the private key, whereas the public key will be given to all the nodes that will be communicating with the server. So in order to communicate with the server, the public keys will be given to other nodes, but the private key will only be with the server, so it enhances the security, as the message that is for the hidden server can only be decrypted by the hidden server, while the message that is encrypted by the private key by the server can be encrypted by any of the public keys. It is because the public security of the public key is not required because it is publicly available and it can be passed over the internet. Now, if a server, now that the server has gotten the private and public keys, it will randomly choose three nodes as the introduction points. There are multiple nodes from which it can choose these 3 points. After this, it will these introduction points will basically be used to connect the hidden client to the hidden server. Now, after the server has chosen these introduction points, the server will notify them about its public key and ask them that it wants to use them as its introduction points. For this, the server will establish circuits with each of the three introduction points, and these circuits will be at a 3-hop distance. Now that after the introduction points have accepted this message, the server will generate a hidden service descriptor. This descriptor will contain the IP address of each of the introduction points as well as the public key. After this, the server will use its private key and it will sign with the hidden service descriptor generated in the last step. Then the hidden service descriptor is added into the distributed hash table by the server. Now, this entry has been added into the distributed hash table, and if the client wants to communicate, it will enter the .onion address for the server. Now, this .onion address is also not very easily available. You can either get it from any public website or any friend, or you can get an email about the site, but it's not readily available like any of the sites available on the local internet. Now, after entering the .onion address, the it will get connected to the distributed hash table, and then it will ask for the hash value. Now, hash.onion is a name which will be consisting of 16 characters, and it will be derived from the public key of the server, and this key will be used for the communication between the client and the server. Now, in case that it was a valid address, the client will be given the public key and the introduction points of the hidden server. Now, in order to start communication with the server, the client will choose a relay node at random and make a circuit with that relay node. Now, as you can see, this relay node has been chosen and it is known as a rendezvous point. Now, the client will send a message and a one-time password to the rendezvous point asking if the rendezvous can connect the client to the introductory point through which it can connect with the hidden service. The rendezvous point on receiving this message will make a circuit with the introduction point, and after making this circuit, um, so after making this circuit, it will send the message to the introduction point, which has to ultimately be to send to the hidden server. The hidden server will then use its private key to decrypt this introduced message and learn about the one-time password and the rendezvous point. It then tells the rendezvous through the introduction point if the connection is established or not. Now, after the rendezvous point knows if the connection is established or not, it will tell the client about it, and now the hidden service and client can carry out the communication through this rendezvous point. All the traffic will be end-to-end encrypted, and the rendezvous point is used to relay the traffic between the client and the server back and forth. The traffic will pass from the client to the rendezvous point, from the rendezvous point to the introduction point, and then ultimately from the introduction point to the hidden service. In this way, both the hidden service and the client will build a circuit with the rendezvous point, and each of the circuits will be at 3 hop distance, which will make a total of 6 hops.